Oh my god, I feel awful. I've been tasked to make a podcast, so here's the podcast. I typically don't like podcasts as I can't sit still and listen to one if it isn't narrative based, but I get to talk about a piece of media that got my attention. Yippee! So, my original task was to create a 90-second avant-garde animation based on a poem, which you will be seeing on the screen now. I chose to animate the poem by Kobayashi Iza that goes, "Sparrow's child, out of the way, the stallion's coming through." This one stood out to me as it seemed to have a more somber theme than the other three. My interpretation is that of a fledgling sparrow that has fallen out of the nest too early, only to succumb to the fate of being trampled by a horse. I wanted to depict the horse as an unstoppable, powerful force, using sharp, large shapes and red to show danger. The sparrow, however, is a muted brown that hosts round shapes to show innocence and naivety. Initially, I had planned to use real paint to create the animation, but sadly I'm broke and lack money for paint, and also left all my acrylic paint back at home. But the animation software I used, Krita, has these beautiful brush presets that resemble paint strokes. The only downside to using them is that the program crashed way too many times to count, and the file size is 5 gigabytes. It's huge. I have contained it to my handy dandy external hard drive, where it can no longer hurt my laptop. You're safe. Don't worry, little laptop. Now I get to talk about the artist that inspired me. Over this course, I've seen a lot of avant-garde films that frankly never stuck with me. Especially the evil horse video, which I hate and wanted to leave the room when they played it on the screen. Awful. But there was one artist that stuck with me until now, the Opus series by Walter Ruttmann. The first time I saw this, the class was led into a dark studio so it could be shown as originally intended, against a black backdrop, which is intensely unusual for animation. This is the first thing that caught my attention. From there, we were treated to classical music and a barrage of shapes and colours fighting for their place on the screen. I was truly enraptured. My friends and I made up stories and narratives for the colours' motives: who was evil, who was good, who was a victim. Anthropomorphizing these colours was so much fun. Over the Opus series, you see Ruttmann's methods change as the patterns created by the shapes become more interesting and daring. And as I tend to do, I gave all of the colours human designs, which I will not be showing because that is embarrassing. Anyway, my animation was based heavily on Ruttmann's Opus, from the abstract colours and shapes to the refusal to use white as a background colour. To finish up, I want to emphasize again how much I hate the horse video. I wanted to tear my ears off the whole time. Now I'm gonna go back to sleep because I'm super ill right now and trying to recover. Bye. I was so ill I genuinely thought that was 10 minutes. Well, I'm no longer as ill as I was then, so now I can get into the history of Ruttmann. Born in 1887, Ruttmann was a German cinematographer who studied architecture in Zurich in 1907. And then he started painting in Munich in 1909. And then later on went to paint in Marburg? Maybe I am still ill, God. He then took an unexpected turn and joined the army during World War I, after which he was hospitalised for PTSD, and that's when he started making films. Lichtspiel Opus 1 was produced over 3 years and premiered in 1921. It is quoted as the oldest fully abstract motion picture known to survive, using only animated geometric forms arranged and shown without reference to any representational imagery. That's a mouthful. Opus is actually a 4-part series, with the final 2 being produced by Law Ludersdorf as well. Ruttmann is also known for his works Berlin, Symphony of a Great City, and Wochenende. Wochenende? It means weekend. Sadly, Walter Ruckman was also known for his Nazi propaganda art, as he willingly worked with the Third Reich during World War II, notably working with Leni Riefenstahl on Triumph of the Will from 1935. He also died in Nazi Germany during this time, as he was filming a military documentary on the Russian front where he suffered severe injuries which he succumbed to. Yeah, he wasn't a particularly great guy, I'm finding out. Speaking of Berlin, let's talk about the horrible horse film Berlin Horse. This horrible piece of art, as I mentioned before, is one of my least favorite things ever, from its audio to its visuals. I'm just gonna let it play for a second, because subjecting you to the whole thing, like I was, would be actually torture. Horrified? Me too. The whole thing is 7 minutes. It released in 1970 in the UK by director Malcolm Legrais. The first part of the film is footage of horses running, initially filmed on 8mm colour, but then later re-recorded in black and white on 16mm. The second part is clips from the film The Burning Stable. In my opinion, the visuals would be fine if it wasn't for the horrible audio, like it's genuinely evil. I think ultimately Berlin Horse did influence my animation in some small way, especially in colour usage. Mainly, it taught me what not to do, because I never want any of my art to ever look like that, ever. And if it does, you have permission to put me down, because clearly I am being possessed. I think now I've said everything I could possibly say about my art and what influenced it, so thank you for listening to this podcast. I'm so tired. I'm actually going to go back to bed, like the first part now. Okay, bye.